Greetings to all my tech heads out there in the KevTechify Nation, and if you're new here, welcome. In this episode, we're going to look at network security testing tools. We'll be discussing network testing tools, Nmap and Zenmap, SuperScan, and SIEM. This episode is part of my series on network security for the CCNA. I'm Kevin here at KevTechify. Let's get this adventure started. There are many tools available to test the security of systems and networks. Some of these tools are open source, while others are commercial tools that require licensing. Various software tools can be used to perform network testing. One of the big main ones out there is Nmap or Zenmap. This discovers computers and services on a network, thus creating a map of your network. SuperScan is designed to detect open TCP and UDP ports, determine what services are running on those ports, and to run queries such as whois, ping, traceroute, and hostname lookups. SIEM, or Security Information Event Management, this is used in an enterprise organization to provide real-time reporting and long-time analysis of security events. GFI LandGuard, this is a network and security scanner which detects vulnerabilities. Then we have Tripwire. This assesses and validates IT configurations. We have Nessus, which is a vulnerability scanning software focusing on remote access, misconfigurations, and denial of service against TCP/IP stack. Then we have LoftCrack, which is used for password auditing and recovery applications, basically password cracking. And then we have Metasploit. Metasploit provides information about vulnerabilities and aids in penetration testing and IDS signature development. As we talk about these network testing tools, also we need to mention Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a distribution, a security distribution that has a lot of these open source tools already pre-installed. What's nice about Kali Linux is you can do what we typically refer to as a live boot. You can boot off of a CD, off of a USB drive, and run it, and basically all stays in memory, doesn't make any changes to your hard drive. That way you can keep your normal operating system, Windows 10, Windows 11, running on your computer. But if you want to do some security testing or something along that line, pen testing, vulnerability testing, using maybe some of these tools, you can boot up Kali Linux, and then Kali Linux just runs in memory, doesn't make any changes to your hard drive. You can do all your testing, and once again, just typically with open source tools there. Once you're done with it, you can shut it down, take out that USB drive or your CD, reboot your computer, and you're back in your Windows 10, Windows 11 environment. Nmap is a commonly used low-level scanner that is available to the public. It has an array of excellent features which can be used for network mapping and reconnaissance. Basic functionality of Nmap allows the user to accomplish several tasks. The user can do classic TCP UDP port scanning and port sweeping. We can also do stealth TCP and UDP port scans, and this is similar to classic scans and sweeps, but harder to detect by that target host or IPS. We can also look at remote operating systems identification. This is also known as operating systems or OS fingerprinting. Advanced features of Nmap include protocol scanning, which is also known as layer 3 port scanning. SuperScan is a Microsoft Windows port scanning tool. It runs on most versions of Windows and requires administrative privileges. SuperScan version 4 has a number of useful services. Here's a fairly long list of the features that SuperScan can do. Most of these features allow you to configure SuperScan to meet your needs. The first one here, adjustable scanning speed. This says, okay, scan the network at a certain speed. Go to so many IP addresses per second, per minute. You can adjust the speed. If you go too fast, maybe your routers and ACLs or maybe your intrusion prevention system will see, okay, there's port scanning happening from this device. If you slow it down, it may not trip your IPS. We have support for unlimited IP address ranges. Some tools you can only put in a certain address range, like a class C address. Here you can do a whole bunch of different IP address range. We can do improved host detection using multiple ICMP methods. Using ICMP, we can look and see if there's actually hosts there. Maybe the firewall is blocking it, but there's some tricks and different methods you can use to identify if the tools are there. One of the nice things here is a simple HTML report generation. So once you run your scan, once you run SuperScan, the report is in a nice simple HTML document. HTML document means anything that has a web browser, you can read that. We can also look at different things like source port scanning, fast host name resolution. The idea here is there's a whole lot of tools that are built in there. And then some of the last things we can use is a selection of useful tools such as ping, traceroute, and whois. Whois allows you to see who the domain is registered. And so these have these tools built in and automated for you. You click on a button, say go ahead and do that, and it's done for you. And the last one here is extensive Windows host enumeration capability. So they will go and scan your Windows host and they will find out all the information you can have. And this is one of the better tools out there to find out what is going on those Windows devices you are looking at. Security Information Event Management is a technology used in enterprise organizations to provide real-time reporting and long-term analysis of security events. Security Information Event Management combines the essential functions of SIEM and SIEM, SIM and SIEM, and what they do is they provide 4 main features. First one here is forensic analysis. This is the ability to search logs and event records from sources throughout the organization and provide more complete information for forensic analysis. Next one is correlation. What this does is it examines logs and events from disparate systems and applications, speeding detection of reaction to security threats. Next one is aggregation. This reduces the volume of event data by consolidating duplicate event records. And the last one here is retention. And this is when reporting presents the correlated and aggregated event data. So basically correlation and aggregation, we then present that data in real-time monitoring and long-term summary. Security Information Event Management provides details on the source of suspicious activity. What we can look at here is we can look at user information. Now, this includes name, authentication status, location, authorization group, and quarantine status. Another thing we can look at is device information. So what device is connecting? We can get manufacturer, model, OS version, MAC address, network connection method, and location. And then we can get posture information. This is device compliance with corporate security policies, antivirus version, OS patches, compliance with mobile device management policies. It was my pleasure to provide you with this wonderful episode on network security testing tools. If you like this episode and you got value out of it, please click that like button, give a 5-star rating, leave a comment. This all helps me bring you more great content. Please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. All my socials and contact information are on my website, KevTechify.com. There you can find out how to get all these episodes in video and podcast form. In the upper right is my playlist for my series on network security for the CCNA. In the bottom right is one of my favorite videos that I linked just for you. Thank you so much for watching this episode of my series on network security for the CCNA. Once again, I'm Kevin. This is KevTechify. I'll see you next time for another great adventure.